Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Ready 2000 podcast. I'm here with Joe and nobody else. It's just me and Joe today in this episode. This is
Hey,
another great, just you and me. This is great.
That laughing in the
I'm going
What are you,
home.
background.
what the?
We got a special guest in the podcast.
Hey, everyone.
It's my boy Carl.
Hey, it's me, Carl.
Me and Carl go way back.
Man, do
Fucking
we do?
our buddy of mine. Fucking A. We were there for like literally the fucking inception
What?
of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, man. It's insane that it's taken this long to finally like for us to
Right.
sit down and talk.
Right. I mean, we sit down and talk a lot, but just no record of it.
What's so funny is like I wish we could have like recorded
Right.
ourselves because the predictions that we made back then
Man.
actually came true. And I know that just sounds like, oh, these people are
Cap.
just fucking
I call Cap.
yeah, capping. Yeah. Cap with a capital C.
Yo,
It's like no,
our
we
harebrained
were-
schemes and theories, they were like spot on a lot of the times.
yeah, spot on. Like our record is, our batting average is pretty good, folks.
Yeah, take it from us. The people telling you.
Yeah.
I don't go that far back with Carl, but yeah, I've known Carl for several years too.
Yes, absolutely, man. Good friends.
That's all we ever talk about, just video games, nerd shit, comics, anime.
And so I thought, why not bring Carl in to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy
Yes.
3?
Volume
Yes.
3.
Yes. Give it a round of applause. Standing ovation.
And literally, we all just came from the movies. I know John's in New York. I went to go see the movie with Carl.
Mhm.
But yeah, like, what do you guys think of the movie?
10 out of
Let's-
10.
Yeah, let's each give like our own little like maybe like one-off kind of like first impressions, what we thought of the movie. I really enjoyed it. I actually really liked it. The characters in this one just stand out so much. It's fucking amazing. Like James Gunn, obviously he loves these characters so much, and this is what's got him started and everything. And
Right.
I love the tone of this movie from like shifting of both like comedic and serious, and dark. It's not. I don't think it's like the best Guardians movie though. I still thought that would be the first one for me. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this movie more than I thought. I guess I would say not to have anything against Guardians, but I guess Phase 4, and I know it's the beginning of Phase 5, but Marvel recently has just been kind of like an okay status. But this movie was awesome.
Yeah, I think me and you line up exactly the same. I desperately needed this movie to be good. And it's not my favorite Guardians movie, but that's like picking my favorite son at this point. Like all three movies are phenomenal, but if I had to put the list in order, I'd say like I still think 2 is the best Guardians movie. Like, 2 is the best Guardians movie. Then 1, then 3. And 1 and 3 are so goddamn close that it's like I have to sleep on it because this is I just watched the movie. But yeah, just like you said, I think my favorite thing about this movie is the tone. Like this was probably one of the darkest MCU movie in terms of like
Right.
taking the subject material seriously. Like there was blood and guts in this, and that I'm like, oh my god, And it's so emotional too. When the emotional moments hit, they hit fucking hard, bro. Like harder than I think previous 2 movies hit. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
And Joe, you said everything I wanted to say pretty much about the emotional feels, bro. Because like when I tell you I'm in that theater like trying not to like get choked up at some of those parts, man. I freaking love this movie. You guys might not put it at the top, but I'm putting it pretty damn close at the top, man. I think it's for me it's 1, 3, 2. But if I could put them all, you know what? I want to put 1, 3, 2, but they're all cool at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's hard to say because once you put a movie on the 3rd slot, it sounds as if
Like you don't like it,
you
right?
you don't like
But-
it. It's like no, dude. I have like a tier list
Mhm.
of like the best MCU movies, and nothing has cracked my top 10 because I think my top 10 is perfect. And
It's not a tier list. It's mostly
Guardians-
just like a ranking.
a ranking, yeah. And I have Guardians 1 and 2 in my top 10. And now with this movie, it's like fuck.
Oh, so
like,
what are you
it's
gonna push
that
out?
yeah, exactly. Like one of them has to go because this movie's great.
I think this is what I was waiting for from a Guardians movie. Like this is like the action. They've been teasing Adam Warlock since the beginning, and we finally got him. And I freaking like he has become one of my favorite characters in Marvel so far. Man. Like he was funny and cool. Like
Just absolutely the first act of this movie with Adam Warlock coming in and just wrecking shit.
What?
Oh my god, bro.
You know, it's crazy. We keep talking about how like emotional it was, and the characters and the feels and everything.
Mhm.
When we're talking about Guardians, one of the funniest characters, superhero teams in all the MCU, and don't get me wrong, this is one of the funniest Guardians movies too. This movie's fucking hilarious. But we're talking mostly about the feels too, which is like what a great, I guess, growth. I guess I'm not gonna say growth, but like I guess change for Guardians movie to know that like we're not just gonna have more and more jokes the third movie, which they did, yeah, totally. But the real tone of we're gonna have jokes balancing out with the feels
I'm
and
just
emotions is
glad
like great.
it didn't go the route of like Thor, bro. Because Thor went like super
Exactly.
comedic, and it kind of killed. Like Thor started out with comedy and action, and it had a nice serious tone, but it could shift into comedy. It is nice balance. But then it just slowly drifted into this weird limbo of it has to be funny. I don't
It
get
was really, really silly.
I am so glad you brought that up because throughout this movie, there are moments where there's a serious moment
Mhm.
where something serious is happening and I'm literally expecting a gag.
Yeah,
And
right.
fucking God bless James Gunn for
Not doing that.
not doing that. I'm
Yeah.
like, thank God
Right.
this was
He
directed
lets
by
a
Taika.
serious moment be breathe, and he lets a comedic moment like have its moment. You know what I mean? Like every scene needs to have just enough time.
Yeah, but we're so like accustomed to seeing these like super serious moments be
Broken up. Yeah.
broken up by this stupid
Mhm.
joke, and it's so refreshing to go see these like serious moments in a movie and feel something,
And it came from the silliest group in the MCU, no less. Like, come on, this movie pulled off better than what the Thor franchise is trying to do. I guess like these ragtag
absolutely.
group of heroes, they're always silly. They're always got like quips and they're funny all the time. But when it was time to get serious, or the moment was supposed to be serious or heartfelt, it stayed that way instead of like putting a fart joke for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Man, I respect James Gunn so much for this because this is exactly what I wanted from this trilogy, and I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, and that's the bittersweetness of it is knowing like throughout this movie, knowing that this is the last time we're going to see this group, even though I don't necessarily believe that, but it ended perfectly. This is the Guardians swan song where they ride off into the sunset, and yeah, just to go into spoiler territory, I guess.
Yeah, let's get into the movie.
Yeah, let's get into the movie. Like, I am so surprised that nobody died.
You just start off with that, like,
yeah.
Yo,
I told the people spoilers.
Spoilers. Don't worry, nobody died. Yo, you're absolutely right.
Nobody died, and it's so refreshing because I think going into this movie, especially the trailers, before the movie came out, a lot of like people that I work with were like, "Oh man, who do you think's gonna die?" It's like, "Oh, people were betting on Rocket, people were betting on Star-Lord," and I think like if you would have had those deaths, like the movie could have pulled off a death and it could have been emotional. But I think James Gunn's writing is so brilliant that he realized, no, the true emotional gut punch is knowing that these people need to go their separate ways.
Yeah.
And that the adventure of the Guardians is over. That is like that scene where the hallway fight.
Oh, the corridor fight. Oh my God.
Yep.
That was awesome.
I mean, that scene is so earned because it's the Guardians and you're seeing them for the last time. It's like, God fucking damn.
You playing Beastie Boys?
Right. And that's what I mean. That's exactly what I wanted from a Guardians movie. And like since the jump, I wanted that moment where they all go ham together. Like, and this is like the first, like they probably, like, maybe I'm mistaken, but this is the first movie I felt like, damn, that's the Guardians of the Galaxy right there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, bro.
Bro. That gave me goosebumps. That corridor scene where they're fighting all together, it gave me goosebumps. They were all using their different abilities to do different shit.
The scene for me that like was that hit me the most, that I was like, oh fuck, like y'all hit me, was when literally right before the corridor scene is where Rocket says, "Nah, we're not leaving anyone behind."
Yeah.
And then it
And
goes
they all
into the
turn.
slow-mo walk. And they all turn. I was like,
turned.
"Oh, I'm in it, bro.
No.
I'm in it." Like y'all hit it. Y'all hit my corazón.
You know what part gave me goosebumps though, for real? When they all took out the High Evolutionary, when they all just like went in on him.
That's my number one.
I got goosebumps.
That's my moment, mostly because I'm a huge nerd. So obviously I know emotional moments are emotional, but you want to get in the feels, just do something really nerdy. I'm like, it is cool when he just takes out a giant gun and he's like, he just keeps calling him 183 or something like that. And he's like, name's Rocket Raccoon. Right. All come in. I was like, oh my God.
Listen,
I get goosebumps.
Listen, before the podcast, I said, this is my favorite scene in the movie. It is my favorite scene in the entire Guardians trilogy.
Oh, man.
It's so fucking bizarre to me that I would never have pieced that together, because throughout the entire thing, he's like, I'm not a raccoon. Yeah. So I was always under the impression that, oh, this is just Rocket. Like Rocket doesn't like being called a raccoon. The idea that Rocket finally accepts,
right? Like I realize he actually didn't know he was a raccoon.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it took this trope that's like this kind of joke of "Don't call me a Rocket" into him getting his actual comic book name, and then also making it part of his arc, his story of being coming full circle that he is Rocket Raccoon. Fucking brilliant.
Pretty dope,
right?
Pretty fucking dope.
Every time now that in any media, Marvel vs. Capcom, like anytime I'll see Rocket Raccoon, I'm like, fuck, I know exactly how he got that origin name. Like, oh, it's so good, bro.
You know, Jesus. We could actually go down the list of each character, and each one of the characters in this movie actually had like some prominent roles and cool things they did.
Nobody missed. I'm gonna go on record. Nobody missed.
Nobody missed.
I'll throw one character that was a miss for me.
Howard the Duck. Okay. Howard the Duck doesn't count.
But I would say miss, but not in the sense of like, oh, I couldn't care less. Just kind of like, I feel like they didn't know what to do with him, and that was Adam Warlock.
How dare you?
I really, don't get me wrong, I love Adam Warlock as the character in the comics and everything. And the guy they got too, he looks great. I think his community timing was great too, and his like that dynamic with his mom. I think everything is good. It's just I feel like they didn't know where to put him in this movie, and he's just kind of like in this movie. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I think when you introduce a character that powerful, like, you know, he's like kind of like Superman. You know, he got to be like nerfed, and he has to be kind of like a tool, because if he was to be let loose to do whatever he wanted, the whole movie would end, because he's essentially more powerful than everyone in the movie.
I will say I agree with what you're saying, John, because for me, we have like a preconception of what Adam Warlock is based on the comics and other media he's been in. So he's in the way we know Adam Warlock is like he's this super serious, like fucking badass.
And a lot of the comic events that he's part of, he's like a crucial character. You know what I mean?
True.
Exactly. But I love what they did with him here. He's just a kid.
That's what I said. He's a kid. He's so innocent, and I liked it.
I didn't say I didn't like. I didn't say like. I just feel like, you know, his placement in the movie.
Yeah, like for me, I really liked this interpretation of Adam Warlock, because it's the very beginning of this character.
Right.
True.
Room to grow.
So much.
There's very room to grow, but I do feel what you mean, John, because when I went into this movie, I was like, oh, that's a take I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like, I don't know if I like it. But then as the movie, when he finally became a Guardian, I was like, that's cool. Yeah. I dig it. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. When he first tackled Rocket at the beginning, I was like, oh my God, they got to deal with Adam Warlock. But then I seen kind of like how he was like, kind of like comic relief, kind of, you know what I mean? Like being funny about it. I was like, oh, okay. And it took me a while. It took multiple scenes for me to get there, but I realized I really freaking liked Adam. Like I'm like
Yeah.
this.
That
This is
entirely
my
goes to the
favorite.
actor too. Will Poulter, I think his name is. Sorry, I'm butchering the shit out of that name.
Yeah.
But he's just so charming that immediately, like when Kraglin, when he tries to shoot an arrow at him and it kind of like bounces off him, he says, "Who threw that, baby?" Like it just kind of like walks away. You know, I was like, I was like, there, right there, it caps it the whole character. I was like, all right, I kind of like, I like this. This is fun.
Who threw that at me?
Yeah, I think. Oh my god, I love Mantis and
Drax. And their dynamic is so
their
good.
dynamic,
so good.
Yeah, it's funny because we only get we get their relationship in the best Guardians movie, Guardians 2.
But it's funny because that is starting out in 2. Like it was, you can see how that grew. Like it was like that seed was planted in 2, and 3. You see how that relationship grew, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and it's like it's beautiful. It's like brother and sisters. Like they're so good together, and they're so the comedy between the two. It's just oh my god. That scene is like where he makes the dude fall in love with Drax, and he's like completely dismissed by it. Like, dude, it's so funny, dude.
I love how they like clown on each other. It's so cool.
Mantis really grew out of her shell, no pun intended, and where she just started calling everyone on their bullshit in the most serious scenes. Where I was like, "This is awesome!" Like, and then at the end, where she just kind of feels like I've done everything for Ego, I've done everything for the Guardians, but I've never done anything for me. Which I did not see that coming at all. I definitely would have written Mantis, be like, "Hey, Mantis is over there. Like, you know, just put her somewhere. You know, don't worry about the ending for her."
That's crazy because I never like. Out of everybody who had their swan song, you know, who had their arc completed, I love Drax's. By the way, Drax's was beautiful. Like,
oh
Drax,
man, when he started tearing up too, when Mantis was leaving, oh my god, Dave Bautista, I felt that.
Yeah, where he's like, ultimately, what you want to be, you're not Drax to the story, you're Drax the dad. I was like,
right? oh man.
I was like, fuck, bro, that's so good. But Mantis's arc, where it's like, oh, she just wanted she needs to find herself. I just felt like I've never read that in any of the previous Guardian movies.
To be honest, I see her coming back later as a crazy asset with those 3 things with her. Like when she walked away with those, I felt scared for everyone that she runs into. I'm like, that's scary. Like that's you remember was it number 2 they were fighting? 1?
Yeah, in 1. They were just fighting.
They were fighting 1. They had a hard time. Man, come on. She got 3 of them, and they all listened to her. Come on.
And also Star-Lord's arc, I felt like where he just needed to go back to Earth. I felt like I didn't really understand it, but
I liked everyone's like the way they wrote for everyone to kind of like part ways, and we're kind of done with these characters. I think everyone they wrote to have like a happy ending. I actually really enjoyed it. I love the idea of, like you said, Drax being like the dad to all these new kids, Nebula building nowhere with all these new animals and kids as like a new home. So she can find. I like Gamora essentially being like, I have a family, and that's what the Ravagers, and they're with her too. I was like, okay, word, like, and that's something I really actually was like, whoa. I think anyone would have written it, and then Peter and Gamora fall in love again or something, and happily ever after. For this movie not to do that and just kind of be like, no, Gamora has her family and she's going her own way, and then Peter goes his own way, you know? They just know that they used to have something special.
I think that is ultimately the reason why I feel like Star-Lord, his arc didn't feel as strong as I would have hoped, because it ultimately is so sad that that they can't be together. But like you said, like as I was watching the movie, I was like, there's no way. There's no way they get together. It's just they're two different characters.
I'm going to 100% agree with you. That's the only arc, the only epilogue, happy ending that I thought was incredibly random. It pulled me out of the movie entirely. Was
like him going back to his grandpa?
Going back to Earth and his grandpa thing.
And when they first mentioned his grandpa, I was like, okay.
That was weird. They never alluded to that in any of the other 2 movies. And he's never talked about his family. And the idea that they're like, how about you go back to Earth? He's like, I've been there for maybe 6 years when I was a kid. I don't know. For him to be like, oh yeah, that one person I I guess I haven't thought about. It feels like they had to put him somewhere and they didn't know where to.
It shouldn't have been his arc to go back. It should have been an after credit. Like he shows up as grandpa, like, hey, hi. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have been like that's his arc. His arc should have been something, I don't know, more significant.
What I think happened was that if Endgame and Infinity War never happened, because I think James Gunn even said that he would have never had Peter hit Thanos. For me, I read that as other writers are meddling with the characters that I love, and so he's tasked with having to write a completely new Gamora.
Yeah, damage control.
Yeah, and pretty much, and he's like, you know what? This is the best outcome that I could put these characters in, even though it doesn't make sense.
Which is not, it doesn't come, but no way in hell am I watching and just be like, well, that was stupid and dumb. Like, no, I think even with the obstacle, I still think he did a great job with Gamora's ending, and Star-Lord just not being with Gamora was a cool idea too. Just putting Star-Lord somewhere is why I think they missed. It was a miss from
Star-Lord's ending. This is just my personal opinion. I think he should have went like solo, like owned back out into the universe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm wondering why they just didn't do that, honestly, because they could have. He really just could have been by himself. I don't understand why his the idea of writing Star-Lord missing Earth and going back to Earth as if he has still some connection. I don't know. Maybe there's something down the line they want to have him on Earth. I don't know how the MCU works. Maybe they have him on like some new Disney Plus show that's going to come up or some shit. I don't know.
You know, John, you probably hit it right on the head right there.
No, because it's really strange for them to write in, like, when Mantis started yelling at him and saying, like, but you never went back to Earth or anything, I literally thought, like, in the back of my head, I was like, are they doing this? Like, are we going, is Quill going to go back?
I thought that was a throwaway line.
I was like, I don't think they're going to do anything. And then, he fucking, it was strange.
See, the problem with Star-Lord being, or going off on his own, doesn't make sense, because he would just continue to be a Guardian with Rocket, and I think ultimately what James Gunn wanted to do was make Rocket the leader, and that's the reason he needs to go back to Earth.
You don't think he could just like leave the Guardians? Like, I'm leaving the Guardians, but I'm not leaving space. You don't think that's possible? That's the way I see it.
I don't think it's possible, because Rocket's arc is that he's the new leader.
Gotcha.
And so, but I mean, I don't know. It's a weird arc, but it doesn't. It's not.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't pull. Like, it's definitely. I'm not like mad at him. Like, they better fix this. Like, no, it's just I feel like they had to put him somewhere, and where they put him was odd, but okay.
But like you said, they need him on Earth for Phase 6.
for the Star-Lord House Market Disney Plus show. Yeah. What other characters can we talk about? Gamora, of course. Gamora's arc.
Yeah, Gamora.
Wow, this is the most badass Gamora.
She went from super off-putting badass to like kind of warm, but still badass. You know what I mean?
Man, they absolutely nailed it. I remember at the beginning, be like, "Oh, sweet, Gamora's gonna be part of the thing," and slowly more and more, I was just kind of like, "Yo, I don't think I like this Gamora. Like, let's leave her somewhere else." No, not in the sense of like, I don't like this, like, as if they're the way they're writing. I'm saying she was so mean that I was like,
she was a dick.
Like, I'm like, this is not my Gamora. You know what I mean? Like, bring me back.
I knew I liked her when she tried to save Rocket from Adam. I was like, okay, I kind of like her again.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, when she pushed Quill and she went off on him, I was like, "The fuck this bitch? The fuck?"
Facts.
I was like, I do not like you. Like, I do not like you. Like, leave. Like, I don't want you a part of the Guardians. Like, you are not my Gamora.
This whole potential Star-Lord thing, I don't even want it anymore. Bye.
Yeah, bye. But no, like the scene, like it's so. It makes me so mad, because like there's scenes in this movie where I'm like, oh God, that's like vintage Gamora, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's just brilliant writing.
Yeah.
Like, for a fact that it's not the Gamora that you grew up watching.
And it's funny because she doesn't even feel like the old Gamora at all. Like she feels like, actually, no, I take that back. She feels like Gamora when you first saw her, if that makes sense.
A testament to Zoe Saldana.
Hmm?
the actress's name because
He
she
killed it.
yeah, exactly like you said. It's like a completely different
Man,
person.
like it's like night and day, and she like I can't get over how good she did that.
Yeah.
It felt like night and day. Another person that killed their role, Chuck Waddy, the High Evolutionary.
Chuck.
Oh,
Yo,
no. That guy
give
was
this
scary.
give this man some type of award because he killed it.
Yeah, he was. I haven't seen a villain this good since Thanos, bro.
Right.
Holy shit! Like he's
what I wanted from Jonathan Majors. That's what I wanted. You know what I mean?
He's just a menace that he brings to the scenes. Like,
and you all right, bro? Do you remember that part where he's like talking to Rocket and they're like looking out at the sunset and shit, and like it's like he's being a dad for that moment, teaching him shit, bro.
And he just grabs his head.
He grabs it, and he was just like, "Wait, this man is a monster. You can tell." Like,
yeah,
he like holds his head, and when he lets go, you kind of hear like Rocket like it hurt him. Like he's squeezing his head, talking to him. Yeah. Yo, man.
And the scene where he's like, I remember that scene playing out like where he's like freaking out about the fact that
he figured it out,
that Rocket figured it out, and I'm like, why is he so? And he's that passionate.
You figured it out, and I created you. Yeah. Like you smarter than me.
Yeah, High Evolutionary essentially created someone smarter than him.
Yo. And that's what he got even more obsessed with it after that. Like,
it's so crazy because like you think about like in the first movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy get together, and it's just like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, it's like it just feels like a ragtag group of people. But then you slowly realize how fucking insanely powerful this team is. Star-Lord's dad was a Celestial, so he's like a son of a Celestial. Gamora is the daughter of Thanos.
You got two daughters of Thanos on the team.
Yeah, two daughters of Thanos. Drax the Destroyer, and now Rocket is part of this fucking...
Rocket's a super genius.
Super intelligent, like...
And I still remember this line he said in Endgame where he says, Tony, chill. He's like, calm down. You're only a genius on Earth. And I'm like, I love that line so much, man, because it just tells you how smart he is. Like he told Tony Stark to calm down.
There are some moments where the High Evolutionary character just kind of starts yelling too much, I guess.
Yeah, he loved his role.
Yeah, you could tell how he got really into the character. Because I remember towards the end where he just started yelling again. I was like, it was like the fourth time him like having a big episode moment. But I get it. That's his character. He's supposed to be like, he's so passionate, you know.
So funny moment. My girl asked Alexa how long the movie was, and she's she tells like it's 2 hours and whatever long, and has a lot of yelling. That's what Alexa says. I'm like, wait, hold on.
There's a lot of yelling.
That's hilarious.
It did have a lot of yelling.
Oh man, when they peel his face off.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying. Like the movie has
some crazy.
Well, this is James Gunn again. Remember, James Gunn loves his I mean, yeah, he's really funny, but he also really loves dark humor and like kind of like body dysmorphia kind of shit. So
talk about the body dysmorphia. Like, what is up with like what the place they went where it was like everything was flesh? Bro, I was gagging.
Oh yeah. Hey, Nathan Fillion though, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, just everything. Like I love the intro where you see Star-Lord drunk because he can't get over Gamora. Stuff like that. Just like in Volume 2 where they're at a fucking brothel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I love James Gunn because he's the only Marvel is the only one that's willing to give this man creative freedoms to write serious shit like that.
DC is gonna try.
They gave him. Oh my god, he's gonna fucking kill DC. Like it's so like I have so much trust in James after this movie because it's like not after this movie. I've always had trust for, but like
first F-bomb in the MCU.
So I was just about to say that like the first like they gave him so much trust that they gave him before Samuel L. Jackson.
The fucking door.
Open the fucking door.
My theater laughed their ass off.
Yo, because that shit is hilarious. Because everybody was thinking it. Everyone's thinking that.
Yeah. It's such a perfect F-bomb.
Yo, God, she's like, "So what do I do now?"
All right, we gotta talk about the star of this entire movie. We gotta talk about Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
Wow, he killed it.
What a fucking insane origin story for this
Right,
character.
and
Like,
I never would have guessed that his origin story was more tragic than anyone else's. Like,
Yeah,
way more tragic.
I didn't know. Like, I never knew what Rocket's origin even
I
was.
knew something was up, but I didn't guess that. Like,
Yeah. Like, I would assume that he was experimented on or something, but like, I don't know
Yeah.
what. You know?
yeah, like that was dark. Like the false hope of thinking they were gonna go live together, and then they all died, and then got like Jesus. Like, it's so
Yeah.
much. It was so much heartache in this movie, man.
just the animal cruelty.
The animal cruelty.
Another theme that is so heavy. Like, that's such a heavy topic. And the fucking rabbit with the spider legs,
What?
like, Jesus
Nightmare fuel right
Christ, bro,
there.
that's nightmare fuel.
There's like a scene where they show Rocket's head scalped, and you can see his skull a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he first
Yeah.
goes into the cage and meets them for the first, I was like, oh man. And also when Floor, the bunny, when they get shot by High Evolutionary,
Yo,
which I was like, oh man. But they show like them, their bodies, and they're just like, oh, they look awful.
yeah, terrible.
Just fucking dead, dude.
But I love those scenes. Those scenes were just some of the, like, the heart of the movie was just flashbacks of when they're just being friends for the first time.
But one thing I don't understand, this is a callback to Guardians 1 when they all get like arrested, right? And on Rockets, like I still remember this because I was like, oh, that's gonna be when they finally do Rocket's movie or whatever. But when they showed Rocket, they showed like a little file, and you could see her name is Lila, the otter.
Uh-huh.
You can see a picture of her. It says associates, and that was a picture of her. And I'm thinking, like, how would they get that information if she died in the fucking cell?
Oh, maybe it's in his.
Oh,
maybe it's in his
wow.
head. Maybe they could see like
Maybe.
what he.
But I just when she died in that cell, it made me think of that. I was like, wait, hold up. So she never
Sure.
made it out. How is she an associate of him now? And I feel like maybe that was just like a mishap. Like maybe they just like overlooked that part. But I know maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the first movie when Rocket gets arrested, they have like a little picture of an otter at the bottom. And I knew that I'm like, oh yeah, that's from his past. And there was like other animals and all that stuff. But then when I saw the otter and she died in the cell, that's when I got confused. I was like, oh wait, they're not going to go on adventures together? Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't know anything about Cosmo the dog.
Oh, you don't know about Cosmo?
Cosmo's
Yeah, I don't
Cosmo's
know.
awesome.
I don't know much about Cosmo, but fell in love with her. Immediately.
I
I'm like, this
love
dog is awesome.
Cosmo.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get more Howard the Duck because they showed Cosmo in the other movie, and then they
Yeah.
also showed Howard the Duck, and I was thinking like, oh, we're gonna get Howard the Duck and Cosmo, but I guess we got Cosmo. It's cool.
But yeah, just to get back to Rocket Raccoon, like,
This is so cool. We're calling him that now.
Right.
yeah, Rocket
his
Raccoon,
official name.
baby. Like, that scene where they're in like animal heaven.
Right.
Oh my god!
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, "It's not your time. Like, go back. They need
I
you."
actually got
I'm
it.
like, oh,
I felt so much
God,
relief
dude.
when she said that. I'm like, thank God. Like,
Yeah.
when he said, "Can I come?"
Yeah.
Oh man,
God,
no!
dude.
I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry, bro.
That
I was like, come on, no, stop! Don't do that to me! Don't do that to me!
God, it's just this movie's emotional weight is put on Bradley Cooper
Right.
and the brilliant animators. Like, this is the best looking MCU movie since Endgame.
Yeah, honestly, it's so true. Yeah, seeing the otter and the seal, the bunny,
It
and
didn't feel out of place.
yeah, and it just doesn't just look like, oh, these animals look weird. Like, no, I know they use like photorealism for these animals, but like, man, they look perfect when they're talking and
It didn't feel like Dr. Doolittle, I tell you that.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of talking animals, but I still don't feel strange about them.
Yeah. When you go to see a Guardians movie, you're in for some weirdness.
Mhm.
And the weirdness is off the charts in this
What?
one, dude. Like,
Like from the designs to like the creatures to man, dude, the high evolutionaries creatures were freaking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He did
God,
not
dude.
disappoint.
Again, with James Gunn with the body dysmorphia, he loves this.
dude, that fucking pig looks so
Yeah,
The
look
sick.
like
pig
cool.
looks sick.
Yeah, they look like two awesome ass action figures.
No, the one with the red eyes, right? That was like glowing, the turtle beak freaking thing.
That thing, the second I saw, I was like, ooh, I want a toy.
When he was like, your arm is a weapon. She said something. I was like, and that's cool. Like, I think it's freaking awesome.
Oh my god! One person we haven't even talked about, Groot. Oh my god!
Yo, that scene
bro.
where he pulled the guns out.
When he pulled all the guns out, I was like, bro, this motherfucker's. Oh my god! This is the best fucking Groot.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I wanted from the Guardians movies, showing them all at their like full potential. Like, this is what Groot could do. You know what I mean? Like, this is what Groot does. Like, he's not just smacking people with trees. Like,
yeah, like he gets his head chopped off in the first act, and I'm like, oh, he's dead,
bro.
Nope, he comes back. He's like crawling.
I got so scared when his head got chopped off. I'm like, really? So he's back to being like a twig again or something like that? I'm like, come on. Like, I was so mad.
This man grew wings when he jumped off the highway. That was awesome.
Just everything about Groot in this, and he fucking says, "I love you guys."
Yo, so what do you think that was about? You think he actually said that, or you think we're part of the family now? We can understand.
Oh, that's a good fucking point. Maybe he literally said, "I am Groot."
We understood
since we're the.
Yeah, bro. I just
That's so cool.
The hair on the back of my neck stood up.
That's a cool theory.
We're part of the family now, man. Because Gamora just like understood him not too long like after that or something like that. And
I swear to God, if I was a part of Marvel Studios, when I released this movie on Disney Plus and on any DVD, I would put the "I am Groot" line in there.
Oh, right.
During the "I love you" scene, I would just put "I am Groot."
Right, and everybody who's seen it in theaters be like, "Nah, he said I am love you. I love you guys."
I remember.
It's the new Han shot first.
Yo, that's actually genius, Joe. That's a genius idea. Too bad it won't happen. That's a genius.
Yeah, idea.
I would do
this movie was fantastic.
How you guys like the music?
Oh, freaking James Gunn and his music selection is awesome always.
Yeah. I didn't like it as much as I liked the second one. I think the second one song.
I would say that I did like No Sleep Till Brooklyn though, but like I do feel like you're right. Number 1 and number 2 definitely had a better music selection.
But they put fucking Space Hog, I think it's called, in the meantime. Mm-hmm. Finally, before this movie came out, I was like playing Rock Band, and I play in the meantime, and I'm like, damn, if there was ever a Guardians song, it would be this song. And they finally put it in. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like,
I guess because they realized the first 2 movies had to deal with like 80s music because of the the little tape recorder they has. But ever since in the second movie at the end when they give him the Zune and it has like music through like the 70s through the new 2000s, you know, they had I could tell that James Gunn had more like free liberty to be like, I could choose music beyond the 80s.
Hey John, that's why he went to Earth, so they can update his music.
I actually would have loved that if James Gunn would have put some silly like I'm here to meet my family and all that stuff. You guys have like a charger or like like he just wants charger or
he went,
or he like sees a Mac for the first time. He's like, what the, you know, like there's way more music, you know.
I kind of you know what, I can respect the grandpa thing. It's just like you said, it was left field. It was kind of random. Like, hey, when's the last time you saw your grandpa? After credit, you're at your grandpa. Like,
I was in the movie theater at the end of the credits. We were just all waiting there, and the end credits shows up, and it's just them, like him eating cereal and just talking to his dad, or talking to his grandpa, and then it says Star-Lord will return, which is awesome, and you know, it just kind of just ends or something like that, and the person next to me in the theater goes, "They might have well showed nothing at all. Y'all could have just had text. Said Star-Lord was coming back. Why did you waste film?" He didn't say that last part, but he just phrased. He said, "Why did y'all could have showed nothing at all." That was extremely random. Just that scene added absolutely nothing other than to say Star-Lord has returned.
What do you mean? You don't want to watch the Peter Quill with his grandpa TV series that's going to come out?
The newspaper.
There'll be nothing but them eating around the table every episode.
The newspaper that the grandpa is reading, though, does say famous actor abducted by aliens or something like that, but it's talking about Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Bacon from the holiday special.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I didn't see the holiday special.
I didn't see it either.
No, there's not much to it, but there is the one thing that I guess the movie did to take from the holiday special is Mantis is Peter's sister. Yeah, she says in the movie, she's like, "Is he? I don't know. He's your brother, you know." And they're referencing the holiday special because in the holiday special, Mantis learns that Ego
Ego's
created
her
Mantis.
father too.
Yeah, Ego created Mantis out of him, and since Ego is somewhat like since Ego is Peter's father, they're kind of like half.
I thought they were just saying that because they're family. Like that's my sister, that's my brother.
Oh yeah,
I just thought it was random, but I see it like, oh my god! I wish I watched the holiday special now. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch that. But yeah, to cap it off, guys, the end of an era. How do we feel about this?
In the words of the collector, magnificent, magnificent, magnificent. I fucking love it.
So quote Iron Man, part of the journey is the end.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Literally, like, it's so sad seeing, like, we're never going to get these characters back, but man, what a send off.
But you know what? It's building up because we know that when they finally, because it's going to happen, they're all going to get back together somehow. Like, I don't care if it's like some final arc war of Marvel or something like that. These characters have to meet up again because they're not dead.
Of course not. Yeah, I like to think that Marvel has a place for them way in the future for some big MCU events that they can get back together and everything.
But do you think if they were to never return, was this the perfect
send off? I think so.
Yeah, I think. Well, everyone. I'm okay with everyone. I'm okay with never seeing anyone from the Guardians ever again because of the movies. I think they're a great ending for a lot of them, except for Star-Lord. That's the only one I feel like. Funny enough, I was making fun of the scene, but the fact that they put the legendary Star-Lord will return, I was like, good, because I kind of wanted to see more than just him being like on Earth,
No, you're absolutely right. Like, I think everyone, if I were to never see Drax, if I were to never see Mantis, then I'd be fine. But I think Star-Lord definitely needs a conclusion to his story.
Oh, and Adam Warlock.
The beautiful thing about Adam Warlock is that he's just a child.
Yeah. He's a kid. She even said you opened his container early. Like come on.
And he doesn't even have his long hair.
Oh man, bro.
When the next time he's gonna look like he's gonna be fucking.
You think he's gonna get the Soul Stone on his forehead?
Oh, for sure. There's no way.
Man, please do it. It'll be like a cool upgrade. Then he wouldn't be like at his, because he's like in a very nerfed state. I can see him getting that could be a cool power up for him, getting a Soul Stone.
Damn, that would be so dope. Oh my god. He's powerful already. Like, can you imagine him with a fucking stone on his head? Jesus.
He really doesn't need it, to be honest. In the Guardian, he really doesn't need it.
I hope they do kind of like, I don't know how or what, but write something in the way where it's like he's like he should have been at Endgame, like during Infinity War and Endgame. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like he's such a crucial character in Infinity Gauntlet, like the comics.
Oh, like write a reason.
Yeah, no, not just a reason, but like maybe in the future, whatever they do with Adam Warlock, write something where they kind of choose his arc that was in Infinity Gauntlet for whatever they're going to use with him in the future. So he's like a person that needs the big like MacGuffin item of the movie, wherever he's part of, and he puts it on or something. You know what I mean? Something similar to Infinity Gauntlet, where he's such a crucial character, and they kind of put him in that instead of Infinity Gauntlet. Does that make any sense?
No, that makes sense. Like that is like his reincarnation, like the thing that he's always supposed to do. He's always supposed to be like this integral character that.
Oh, the Soul Stone, like we could do something with the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna bring back the stones though?
No, but I don't know. Maybe
because every mention of the stones after Endgame has always been like, yeah, they don't do anything anymore. Like they just like they're kind of useless. It kind of hurts because like that wouldn't be the case. They would still be very valuable, very powerful, but like nobody cares about them anymore.
Do you guys want to see a Guardians 4?
Heck yeah, but I want to see Rocket's team. It has to be Rocket's team. Like you said, the send off of the original cast, I don't have to see them ever again. But Rocket's new team, it doesn't have to be a Guardians movie, but his
especially the way Groot looks.
What? That tank monster thing? Like, come on, give me some more of that.
Yeah, Guardians 4. Honestly, I don't. I think this is like the perfect trilogy.
Don't ruin the trilogy. Just put them in something else.
Exactly. They could always be used as something Avengers level threat,
Galactus.
Please, Galactus. Would you?
No, I agree. I don't think I need to see another Guardians 3, I guess. I mean Guardians 4 with like I want to see more Star-Lord, and if they would have to do a 4, like let's just say down the line they're like let's just do Guardians 4, it would have to be I agree with Carl, just straight up Rockets Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Not with Nebula, not with Dave Bautista, not with Mantis, like just the characters you left off as with the Guardians. And that's it.
Like I wouldn't mind a completely new trilogy of Rocket's team, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
Oh yeah,
you don't even have to call it Guardians of the Galaxy anymore. Like, I just want to see what's going on with Rocket. To be honest, he's a leader. Yeah, Adam Warlock with you and stuff. Like, Groot's huge. I want more of that.
Yeah, literally a bittersweet ending. What do you guys give it?
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
For me, solid 9.8 out of 10. I won't give it a perfect score, but I will say it's up there because this is, and I'm rating it for a Guardians movie. To me, this is what I wanted from the jump from a Guardians movie, and this is what I got. So 9.8.
I'll rate it the same thing I rated for the. I didn't give my take earlier when you guys were talking about your favorite Guardian ranking and everything. I know you guys said you wouldn't rank them; you just kind of like them all. But I can't do that because I really, really, really enjoyed Guardians 1. Guardians 1 is my second favorite MCU movie of all time.
Dance off to save the universe, man.
It's such a good movie, and I didn't want Guardians 2 when they announced it to years ago. And they're like, "We're making Guardians and a raccoon in a tree." I'm like, "Why the fuck are they making this?" And now it's like my second favorite MCU movie. But I would rank this movie the same. I would rank Guardians 2. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 8.7. Like it's exactly where Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is for me. Where it's like it's near perfect.
What do you give 2?
I give 2 like a 9 out of 10.
Okay, all right, yeah. Respectable.
Everything in my top 10 is like 9 out of 10s. Except Civil War. Civil War is like 10 out of 10.
Which franchise has the best trilogy in the MCU? Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, or Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yo, okay. For it's damn, because you got it.
I'd be lying.
No Way Home though.
I'd be lying if I didn't.
I'm choosing those 4. Obviously, I know. Ant-Man had 3 movies, but I know a lot of people aren't fans of Quantumania, so I'm choosing those 4, I guess.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say Captain America, but I have to edge it out a little bit to Guardians because Guardians is its own. It never relied on Iron Man or a team up like Captain America did.
Right. It's its own thing, and it stayed its own thing.
Captain America kind of cheated with Avengers 2.5.
Exactly. Winter Soldier was fantastic.
Winter Soldier was fucking awesome.
That was
I think Winter Soldier is like for me like a 9.8 for real. Like that's an easy, almost that's a 10. Forget it, that's a 10, bro.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier is fucking awesome.
5. I actually think it is my number 4 on my list of MCU movies.
Jeez.
But yeah, for me, it's definitely Guardians.
Yeah, even Spider-Man has like Iron Man, and
the problem with the Spider-Man trilogy is that it's not really a trilogy. It's more like it doesn't end the series. It's a cliffhanger and it ends more. Like it's a lot going on. Spider-Man. I can't even call it a trilogy.
Yeah, and I do not like Far From Home.
Oh my god, it was weird, right? With Mysterio.
I like Mysterio. It's just Spider-Man in that movie gets everything handed to him. But that's another discussion.
I'll put Far From Home from the weakest out of the Spider-Man trilogy, sure. But I would agree. Captain America. Yeah, come on. I know I just said they cheated with Avengers 2.5, but still. That movie, Civil War was awesome, and Winter Soldier was awesome.
I'm about to say, do the Avengers movies count? Because I would say the Avengers trilogy is...
They had like 4 movies.
But, okay, trilogy. You hear what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
I actually even like the first Avenger, which a lot of people are like, yeah, it's okay. I actually really like the first Avenger. So it would have to be Cap for me.
I wanted more Red Skull though. Like, come on, they
Oh, don't
did
get
us
me
dirty with
started.
Red Skull. They did us dirty with Red
Don't
Did
get
Skull.
they
me
do that?
fucking. Don't get me. You're getting me started. All right. I fucking
this,
love Red
this is a
Skull.
this is a Guardian special. We're not talking about Captain America right now.
No, I have this love-hate relationship with Hugo Weaving, the guy who plays Red Skull, because
Oh, you don't like Red Skull?
I
I mean, you don't like
love
Hugo Weaving?
I love Red Skull, but Hugo Weaving doesn't like Red Skull.
Yeah, he didn't want to play more than he opted out of the part. Yeah.
He said, "I don't feel like doing it anymore," or something like. He just didn't feel like coming back for Red Skull. For Red Skull, he doesn't like. He's played Ultron. He's played Megatron in the Michael Bay movies like 5 times. He's played Mr. Smith like 3 times in a trilogy.
But
He's played the villain. He's played the villain in Lord of the Rings 3 times. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you just say you don't like playing a Nazi, then sure.
He didn't say he didn't like playing the part. He said that he did it for the money. Like,
I don't remember that.
John said, "I don't remember that. I remember him saying he hated it."
No, because I remember him saying that he straight up just said, "I just want to do it one and done." And then the entire internet started roasting him for like a week because everyone's like, "Aren't you the king of being the bad guy for trilogies? Like, you're Mr. Smith, you're Megatron, you're Lord of the Rings, like you're the trilogy villain guy." And then,
but you can't even blame him for not like for the movie not returning Red Skull. If that makes sense, because
they didn't use him for Infinity War though.
Yeah, but this is like they could have not, and it would have been still the same.
Get out of my room, Hugo Weaving. Get out of here. You had your chance and you lost it. All right, Hugo. You were an awesome villain.
It's funny because he wanted to come back. Like, he's like, I'm willing to do it again, and Marvel Studios was like, nah, player.
Nah.
Bye, Felicia.
Somebody else that sounds like you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah. Volume 3.
Fantastic movie. I've been dying for a good Marvel movie. We finally got it, guys. We finally got
one. We got one.
We got 2 points so far out of Marvel's multiverse saga. Because Phase 4 out of 4 and 5, 4, the only one that was working for me was Spider-Man Far From Home. I mean, No Way Home. And now for Phase 5, it would be Guardians 3. Not to say the rest have been absolute dog shit. Like, no, but very 7 out of 10s, I would say, a lot of them. But this one was a home run. They got a home run in this one.
Yeah, I think the MCU desperately needed this.
Next movie is The Marvels. See how that turns out.
Fingers crossed it's good.
Fingers crossed it's good. It looks fun.
It looks like a fun team up.
I rewatched the Captain Marvel movie, and I was I liked it better the second time I watched it, but I was still like underwhelmed. Like,
yeah, that movie's plagued with like pacing, just because it tries to do the thing where it's like, this is the second act of the movie. The second act is actually the third act, and the first act is actually the third act. You're like, what the fuck?
What's going on here?
Just like, what's going on, guys? I don't get this. Like, stop.
I think I appreciated it more after in hindsight, watching it with your 2020 vision, rewatching it. It's awesome.
Knowing what was going to happen. I remember seeing it for the first time being just confused.
Yeah,
but I'm sure seeing it again, it's like a better.
How many times have you watched it?
Literally twice.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought, and I literally right now I've only watched it twice. Like, that movie gets no playtime.
What movie are you guys talking about?
Captain Marvel.
This whole time, I'm like, man, what movie? Oh, Captain Marvel. Yeah. It's alright. It exists. But let's end this with just saying one thing. Who's your favorite Guardian of the Galaxy?
I think the strongest for me, because I always delve with characters who I think have more like emotional ties that I can relate with more. I think Drax for me is I just let that, like, his arc throughout all the movies is the one that resonates with me the most, especially that scene in 2 where he's talking with Mantis, and like Mantis touches him and she feels his pain, but he's not even crying. Like, he's accepted the fact that his whole family is dead, and it's just like, fuck, dude. That's why that scene in this one where he becomes a dad, it's like, God damn it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. Drax the Destroyer for me. Even though I think Drax should have killed Thanos, but
Right?
Yeah.
Or at least got some good licks in. He didn't get any good licks in or anything.
he didn't even get a good lick in, bro.
They
Like
did
at
him
least
dirty,
a fucking
bro.
uppercut, bro.
Like, and if you really think about it, he didn't get no good licks in with Ronan either. Like, jeez, they did him dirty, man. I wanted him to like do something, like get some type of like,
Yeah.
get his comeuppance somehow, but whatever. For me, my favorite, Rocket, all the way. He's super cool. He's I always like the techie genius type characters. And
Yeah, you like Donatello.
man,
You like Donatello?
Donatello is pretty cool. I mean, come on. I like characters that use their brain.
That's another podcast. Let's keep continue.
I like. He said, "Yeah, you like Donatello." Like, because I really like Iron Man, and to me,
Sure.
Rocket is the team's Iron Man. Like, he is the team's. Like, you see, Nebula's arm. He made that. Like, what the bro? That shit was crazy in the movie. That's the most high tech thing I've seen ever. It could do everything. It was so useful. It could fight. It was like super strong. It freaking piloted an entire ship that was the size of nowhere. Like, come on, man. And Rocket made that.
Yeah.
No wonder you love this movie so much. Because this is literally like Rocket's
Rocket's movie, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man. Get off.
I'm crying right now, guys, just so you know.
Hey, if I have to pick a favorite Guardian, well, from the comics, since forever, I've always loved.
Cheating.
Well, no. Can I finish? I'm segue to. I really did like Groot from the comics a lot because he was the only one I knew. I didn't care much about Rock Raccoon. I didn't even know who Star-Lord was. All these Groot was the only one that was obviously because he's so easy to sell that he was the most popular like space character they can put in comics and stuff. So I've always loved Groot. But once the first movie came out and then one after another, it would have to be Star-Lord. Fucking Star-Lord absolutely is my favorite Guardian. I don't know much about him in the comics and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen him once there, like
in the comics, to be honest.
Yeah, like in the comics, he's really just like a leader. He kind of came across boring. This is when I was reading it just to see what the Guardians were when the first movie was announced.
Yeah, this was before the Guardians.
Yeah, before the Guardians, I just went to go check up and like literally I had no idea who Star. Well, I didn't know. Not that I didn't know, but I wanted to know more about the character, and he really was just a leader. He really wasn't like on all anyone special.
He had like the cool elemental guns. And...
Yeah, like elemental guns and everything. He's a very straightforward kind of guy. And I was like, okay, I guess this is the thing. And then seeing Chris Pratt's Star-Lord of this frat boy kind of character, but he's trying to do good, but he's also like this 80s loving, like and it just fits so well with Chris Pratt's character. Absolutely Star-Lord's my favorite Guardian from James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, so well put.
He literally has like some of the best lines in the trilogy.
I guess that'll do it for this episode of the Ready 2000 podcast. Say bye, guys.
Take it easy, folks. End of an era.
That's right. Good night. Thank you guys for having me on. It was awesome.
Definitely, bro.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for listening, children.